Hello traders out there in Traderland. D7 here with Grok Trade, the weekend edition video. Go to April 5th, 2020, Sunday. And the market in the week. Bearish territory, down 1.5% on most indices. But here's what's very important to me. Russell's 2000 down nearly 3%, double what the rest of the indices were doing. Financials down 2%. Down lower than the other major indices. For you 301 mentor students, you know what all this means. Look into that quite deeply. US dollar higher, crude oil bouncing more than 15%, guys. That is a buy territory. Silver down, gold up, VIX down, but we're at 46.8. We're at 47 on VIX. Fear is high. Bitcoin at 6,700 plus. And here we are looking at the S&P 500 ETF exchange traded fund. And here's what's going on. We have been in a downtrend. COVID-19, bad virus hitting the world. A sizable sell-off. Then we get a bounce. It's called a bear pullback. A pullback sell. And sure enough, last week we got a sell that took place Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday, there's the drop. What's interesting is Thursday, there's no continuation to that drop. Thursday, no continuation. It like, whoa, let's go higher. But then Friday, they said, no way. This blue line that you see coming down is the declining 20-day simple moving average. This line is acting right now as resistance, and it continues to act as resistance. Wednesday, we gapped down. Thursday, we went sideways. Friday, we went sideways. On a minor level, we have what's called a low base. Technically, this isn't a low base. Technically, this could just be a stall out point. Let's figure out what's going to go on going into next week. Now, I'm doing this video many hours before pre-market futures open up throughout the world. So we don't know how those markets are going to open and how they will fare out by the time 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time the markets open up on Monday. That will tell the tale on what we can expect. Here's the deal. We're in a holding pattern right now. Let's go to a higher time frame so you can see this with me. I want you to see exactly what it is that I'm seeing. If you go to the weekly chart on the S&P 500 is in major trouble. For the last many weeks, we've gone down, broke a major area of support. We dropped. 2 weeks ago, we tried to rally back. That was the bear pullback that I just showed you on the daily chart. We go up here to the trend line. People sold into it. This week, we got up to the trend line. People sold into it. This is also big red. This is the 200-day simple moving average, this red line. It is acting as resistance. The last 3 weeks, we've been under big red, the 200 simple moving average. That is bad news. What else is bad news is we remain under a major trend line. That trend line goes back a long time. The point number one is February 2016, February 8th, the week of. And this goes to December 2018 on the 17th, the week of the 17th. Those are the 2 points. We found support March 2020. However, we broke it going into the middle of March 2020. In the last 2 weeks, March and going into April, we are now resistance. This here on the weekly chart on the S&P 500 ETF spider, we've gone down. This is a little mini bear pullback to major resistance. That's bad news. Technically, the month is just getting started. So don't pay too much attention to what we're looking at here. But here's the month. You can see the high has gone to the close of the previous month. That acted as resistance. People sold into that right back down. We are hovering at this moment, just days into the month, okay? This is a baby candlestick that's just getting started. We're at support level of a major line. If you go back, it was tagged right here, February 2016. Go back further, just tagged here in September 2011. Tagged here again, February 2009. Major line. And for the S&P 500 monthly chart, if we close below that line, bad things will happen here in the United States and the rest of the global world. That line is critically important. If April closes below that line, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. If you go to the diamonds, this is the Dow diamond. Same thing. It looks just like the S&P. The weekly, if you go to the weekly here, I'm using TradingView. There's a link down in the description. TradingView is a great charting platform that most people are using nowadays. The monthly or the weekly chart, every week's been going down for last month. However, last week was a little bounce, but look how we did not make any higher highs. The 200-day moving average coming across, we remain below it. We're in trouble on the weekly. The monthly is already below. We closed last month below that major trend line on the monthly. We are now just days old in April. We have a little doji as we're just getting started, but below this area. So that's a lot of pressure to the downside. And I like these seltzer waters, these soda waters. Do you guys drink those? I pound these all day long, just soda waters. The NASDAQ. Here are the Qs. If I go to the Qs daily, looks very much like what we're seeing the rest of the S&P and Dow. We remain below the 220 simple moving average. We're right here. Bad news. If you go to the weekly chart, this is of interest. The last couple weeks, we've bounced off of a major support line. We popped up last week, but we got a falling EMA right here. We hit that. We sold into that right back down. We're already showing relative weakness. After last week's pop, or the previous week's pop, we should have had more continuation to the upside. We didn't get it. We're already seeing pressure to the downside. Pressure. Bad news. But if you look at the monthly chart on the Qs, we're above a support line. This line needs to act and continue to be support. Guys, if we close lower than that trend line on for the month of April, woe to the markets. This will be bad news. Use this as a warning. Russell's 2000 Friday lagged the market. Look at this. This is the monthly chart. I'm going in reverse. Last month, March, we just crashed down below major support lines. Crashed down below it. This month, we're already starting off in the red. Already heading southbound on the monthly chart. The weekly chart on the Russell's 2000, we didn't even bounce much here. Even with the tweezer weekly technical pattern, we should have popped. We did not get that last week. It's a sideways move. This is a low base starting to be made. The weekly chart, or the daily chart, you can see we're just drifting lower. The question is, will we go lower than this swing low? If so, this downtrend will stay intact and will keep dropping. The only hope that we have is if the markets rally going into this next week, and it does so on big volume. We need to see the dailies get above the 20-day moving average. If so, this will be a higher swing low. But then the question is, Will this go into a bear flag? If so, we are big time bearish. Or will this be our first double bottom or a higher step up where at this moment, this will be the low of this trend and we'll start guiding higher from this point forward? That is a reality. That could happen here. But the markets have to get above these moving averages, especially the 20-day moving average, and it has to stay above the areas of support on the weeklies. And if we break those support levels on the monthly or do not rally back above them on the monthlies, we are doomed. The financials help me a lot on looking at the underlying market. The markets are only as strong as the financials there to support them. And here's the deal. Financials daily. Bad news. We're below the 20-day moving average more than the rest of the indices, meaning they're relatively weaker than what we're seeing across the board. If you go to the weekly chart on the financials, we had 2 weeks ago, we had a bounce. We should have had more of a rally this week. We didn't get it. We got a red candlestick. That is bad news. If you go to the monthly, that's just getting started. You can't hardly pay that much attention to it. We're below a major trend line. And if we stay below that major trend line on the monthly, stick a fork in this market, this will be a recessionary pullback that will last years. You're hearing it right here yet again. I keep saying this. These are the last bastions of hope with these support lines. They need to hold true. We got to get back above. We're underwater and we have to get back above. If we don't, we will make a killing on the short side. And I am short this market. I am short this market. So much money to be made. So much money. If I go to the dollars, take a look at the dollar. This here is a daily. We go up, up, up. We pull back here. Do you see this? U.S. dollar. And it's starting to pick up momentum to the upside. We were under a lot of heat here on the U.S. dollar. The weekly, as long as it stays above this area, the U.S. dollar should stay strong. It needs to stay above that trend line. The monthly is up, up, and away, looking really good. Crude oil is a buy, guys. The buy was Thursday. That was the buy day, and it's up, up, up. If you're doing a long term, the weekly, guys, is the hopefully get a little weakness this week and buy in at a better deal. But look, as this is a bottom, look for this to only start going higher. It's going to be choppy. There's a lot of things going on with OPEC, Saudi Arabia, and Russia. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns. So because of that, expect a lot of turbulence, okay? But this looks like a bottom being put in. Guys, we haven't seen the likes of these lows since the 1950s when it comes to crude oil. These are levels we will not stay at for very long. We will not stay at for very long. Silver. Silver is a big high base, guys, on the daily chart. See this down here? Big high base. That's a buy. The weekly got back above, put its head above water right here, and it stayed above for the weekly. The monthly's got to get back above here. If so, silver is a buy, and it looks like it's going to. Gold comes up, nice bull flag. On the weekly, we got to get above that trend line. The monthly, as long as it stays above this red trend line, we are golden. So that looks good. Quick look here at the VIX. The VIX last week, 2 weeks, been dropping, but we're still at 47, guys. And if you look at the weekly chart, here's the drop, but above this EMA, and the monthly just getting started. I still see a lot of upside opportunity for the VIX, and Bitcoin is just going up to like a bear flag into a lot of resistance. There could be a sell point here for short term, but the part for, because I hold Bitcoin, this is in a big triangle, and we have more price action at the upper trend line than the lower. I'm looking for a breakout to happen over 8,000, and I can see us at 20,000 pretty soon. So that's what I look at there. All right, monologue time. Let's just get to it. Here's something that I probably should tell you guys. Our classes have been huge. Just because everybody's in quarantine. My life hasn't changed. As a trader, guys, I mean, I'm sitting around in my what people call the control center, because I got these massive monitors that wrap all the way around me from here to there, and I got these big lights, and then my camera here and my microphone here. And my wife doesn't have to work; she's at home, and anyway, so life hasn't changed for us. I know it has for you guys, or many of you. Some of you it hasn't changed. Let me know. Has it not changed for you? Has life been about the same, outside of not being able to find toilet paper and going to the store and seeing everybody wearing masks, which is not the norm here in the U.S., but it's interesting to see for sure. But I'd really like to know how life has changed for you. Do you like the idea? Because this is what we're finding. We're finding people liking the idea of being traders because you got the time to do it. Man, there's no better time than when you're sitting at home, can't go to work, learn something, learn a new language, learn a new skill set, learn something. But in my humble opinion, guys, you would be remiss if you're not learning the language of trading. There's no better business model out there than trading. An email. I should pull it up, but I won't take the time. Got an email from one of the students that just got out of one of our classes, and he goes, Des, that's my real name, AKD7, and he goes, I just had the biggest trading day of my life, just made under $30,000. Man, when you make $30,000 in a day, come on. That's a big day. That's a big day. He said he had a couple weeks over 40,000, but never a day of 30. But it's neat to see emails coming in of our students. Now, the only reason I bring that up is because, one, it's a cool email. I love that. And very few people can say they made $30,000 in a day, right? Well, when you look in the markets, there's endless money there. Endless. It is up to you to position yourself to grab that money and not lose that money. We, as savvy traders, take money from those who are not as savvy. So we take advantage of individuals who haven't earned their right to make money trading in the live markets. Okay? It is a war. We're all at war. And somebody's making the dollar and someone's losing that dollar that they just made. What I want with Grok Trade is our students to do better than all the other students out there. I want you making more money than all of them out there. I want you developing faster than all the other students out there. Learn. If you're going to do anything during this quarantine, learn how to trade, because trading comes with a return on investment. It's a ROI. You can't get that learning a new language like Spanish or Chinese or Mandarin or whatever, okay? You're not going to make money more than likely learning to play the violin or learning to paint. But trading, that's a different ball game. Tomorrow you can get into the markets and make money. The next day make money. The next day make money. Money. There's so much money out there. But you have to go at it responsibly, because those who aren't disciplined, that do not have the trading plans put in place, that have the rule sets in place, you're victimized. You're the ones that say, man, I just keep giving money back to the markets. My account just keeps going lower. And you want to blame everybody but yourself. Quit blaming people. The people who wear the victim's hat. As soon as you put on the victim hat, like it's somebody else. It's the market makers that see my stop losses. It's the economy. It's the whoever. It's my broker is, doing me wrong in some way, shape, or form. Soon as you try to take the focus off of you and put that blame on something else, you're wearing the victim's hat. If you're wearing the victim's hat, your hopes are zero of an improving after that. Because in your mind, you don't have to improve. Somebody or something else has to improve. Why? Because you've been victimized. Incorrect, stinking thinking. That is not how we think as traders. You've got to be methodical. And the only way you can be methodical is if you're disciplined. The only way you can be disciplined is if you have confidence in the rule sets that you follow. And the rule sets that you follow have to already been tested and proven. Do you see how that ties together? You'll have to pause the video, go back, listen to that again. What I'm sharing with you, mentoring secrets on becoming a radically successful trader in the market. For you to reach your full potential as a trader. Think about that. Let me just ask you a rhetorical question. What would it take for you to reach your full potential as a trader, trading in the live markets, and doing so with great confidence? What would it take? I'll tell you what it takes, because I blew through my first 2 accounts. If you haven't lost your first account trading in the markets yet, you don't know the gut punch. When you lose your account, it's not fun. I've been trading live, utilizing technical analysis and getting into the markets and out of the markets for 22 years. 22 years, a long, long time. Almost 23 years. 22 years. And what did it for me was sitting with another trader, an expert trader, and who was guiding me on showing me how to do this, how to trade here, how to sell it, and how to find those best stocks, right? So I'm saying all that to say our classes have been huge here lately. The biggest classes we have seen in years coming through right now because everybody wants to learn to trade. And we don't advertise. If you're finding us and you don't know anything about us, this is the first time you've been here, that doesn't surprise me. We don't market. We don't care to market. But do we teach? We do teach. We only do that once a month. So first come, first serve. If you can make it in during the class before we max out, you're good. We had to do 2 classes this month. So just because of the sizes. Crazy, right? But I highly recommend going to Grok Trade and getting in our course, the mentorship. This is the time. Now is the time to invest in yourself. Now is the time to say, I'm joining forces to be part of a very healthy ecosystem of savvy traders. Because right now you're on an island by yourself, and you've been struggling all year. I'm telling you guys, we've had a gangbuster year up until this pullback. If you haven't just been killing it in the markets, man, just put a mirror in front of your face and own it. Own it. It's your own fault. You've lost far more money in the markets than what any sort of education would cost you. And education is an investment. It's a return on investment. This is the one thing that will give you a return on your investment. Some of you guys, we're going to get these checks in the mail. I don't expect one, but many of us will be getting checks in the mail from the government. Some people will go and buy a television, a smart TV. Other people just put it on bills that they owe. Man, that's a poor man's mentality. Don't put money into depreciating items. Put it into something that appreciates or will pay you a return on investment. Some of you have to hear this. I don't care if you go through us or somebody else. Find somebody to learn from. And how do you do it? How do you find somebody you can learn from? Find somebody who you trust. That's what matters more than anything, is the trust level. Meaning that if that person was with you, would you trust that person? Would you listen to what he or she was saying? Could you take that to the bank? Find a person that you see proof of their skill sets. See what they're saying and listen to what they're saying and saying, does it play out? And if you have a history of that, if you say, man, yeah, because that's where the trust comes from, right? That's where the trust is built. The trust is built when you spend time with somebody. Trust is built when you see good things come from ideas and thoughts, analysis. You need to find somebody that is rock solid when it comes to technical analysis. What I really am thankful for as a trader is I had two mentors too. One of them was a fundamental mentor for fundamental analysis. Boring, right, for most people. Fundamental analysis just simply means that you pick your companies fundamentally. You pick them looking at the numbers of the business. So you're looking at spreadsheets, balance sheets, PE ratios, PEG ratios. You're looking at quarterly increases of earnings per share. I mean, you're just looking at all the stuff, right? He was teaching me this, and I was learning that, but I'm on the side finding technical analysis sexier. I'm like, wow, this technical analysis, I like this a lot. That's the engineer mind that I had. Really liking that a lot. And I gravitated towards technical analysis. He gravitates toward, he cut his teeth. He's an older gentleman. He's not with me anymore. He's since passed on. Al Zinkovich is his name. And that individual, one day he says, Des, he goes, let's pick our companies fundamentally, and then let's trade them technically. Pick them fundamentally and trade them technically. I have lived by that principle from that point forward. It was a game changer for me. Technicals, still struggled with that. And that's why I went and paid $21,000, literally, to a group called Teach Me to Trade. They're not around anymore. They were the only ones back in those days, because they were just getting started, that had a mentor program associated with it. I didn't want to sit in a seminar, an overpriced seminar, and to learn how to trade. I want to put me with somebody that I can sit with and that I can ask my questions at my speed. That's what did it for me. And matter of fact, I went back 2 months later to my mentor a second time just to refresh the things I had learned and to tweak things in. I had deeper questions at that time. So it made a lot of sense. So our students, just quick, I'll tell you, our students, it's 3 days. We have a class coming up really soon. You got to sign up now, and here's why. Because we're going to give you the 201 course, and that's given to you free, okay? If you take that course, it's a lot. It's 48 lessons, trading lessons. It's really, really deep, and it tells you how to trade. But it's those courses you will take that will prepare you and ready you for the 301 mentorship, which is 3 days. It's a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And it's done online. We do it through Zoom. We've been using Zoom before. The rest of the world had been using Zoom last few weeks. It's really conducive for training and teaching. And it keeps our prices way low. That's why our competitors, we're so much cheaper than all of our competitors. We're just so much cheaper. But we believe our value is so much higher because we stay with you until you make all your money back. We stay with you until you make all your tuition back. Not only do you learn a language that pays a return, puts you in place to make money in the stock market. And you can trade anything. We teach you the technicals, how to pick the companies and the technicals on when to trade it. You will be able to trade through options. You'll trade futures, Forex. You can trade anything that has a chart after you're done with the program. When you're done with the program. Anyway, I'm babbling, but it's 3 days. It's all day long, but you get the 201 course. My machine just went to sleep because I hadn't been wiggling my mouse. But if you do the 201 course, you'll take that beforehand and you'll be ready to rock and roll. You don't have to know anything about trading. Nothing. You'll take the 101s first, and it's about 2 hours worth of about 2 hours maybe under that, hour and a half worth of basic information. What trading is. The 201s is how to trade. There's more data there, and you'll want a good 3 to 4 hours to go through that online training before the class. But that training will let you get the most out of your mentorship, the most out of your trading. It will allow you to get so much more out of it. And those 201s go with you after the class, so you can keep reviewing that information. But again, you'll learn a language, trading that will pay you money, and we will stay with you until you make all the tuition back. It's just a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Put your money towards a TV or put your money towards trading education. Are you kidding me? Anyway, there's so much money. If the markets start falling out of bed, we will just kill it. I hate it for everybody else. We'll be losing money, but there's a lot of money to be had here. We're in this holding pattern. I'm ready for it to release. It'll be healthy. Let the release happen, and then we'll bounce and go back up, and I'll buy up all these stocks at a discount price, man. And you can buy up so many more shares. If you buy and hold, you're at the same share price or the same stock number that you purchase. Same stock number. Me, I like to sell, make money going down, and then when everything's discounted, when I buy back in, I'm buying X percent more shares. So when it goes higher, I benefit from that too. Yeah, it's some awesome stuff. Okay, I'll end with this. I'm looking for some individuals. I'm looking for digital marketers, okay? Digital marketers who have an interest in trading. I'm willing to barter with you. Or if you are an excellent writer, grammar is high on your priority list, and you're interested in trading, then I want to talk with you. Des, D-E-S, Delta, Echo, Sierra at groktrade.com. That's my personal email address. Send me an email. And I'm looking for people who can create writing content and digital marketing, because I want to get some of our stuff out to the world better than what we do now, because we do not market at all. We post a video and walk away. But I know you guys want more content from me, and I'm thinking about doing that. Mark did one Thursday, and I didn't want to overdo his too quickly on a Friday, so I let his, marinate a bit before I came in on Sunday to do mine. But anyway, if you like this, give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the information I'm giving. But I hope all is well. I hope you're safe. If you have dealt with the COVID-19 yourself or in your family, let me know in the notes. I want to know what it's like. What were the symptoms like? What was the hardest part on it? Whatever. I want to hear your COVID-19, your coronavirus stories down below. Please, stay safe. I care about each and every one of you. I want my followers to stay safe, be healthy, do not the 6-foot rule, do a 10-foot rule, stay in. And anything you touch, wash your hands and wash them. Fist bumps only when you're engaging with somebody in business. Like I have landscapers out in my yard today, and fist bumps only. And they introduced, it was a time that we were doing some negotiating and deals. Normally it'd be a handshake. And he put his fist out first, and I said, I respect that. So anyway, that's it, guys. We'll catch up with you later. And if anybody does the mentorship, if you sign up, go to the mentorship, do the top form. If you do the top form, Because it says, I will give you the Stock Picks V newsletter. That's our bull and bear list, free for 1 year, 1 whole year. So every week, you will get a brand new list of stock picks every week for an entire year, free of charge, just by filling out the top form and having you got to meet the criteria. Okay. There's criteria there you've got to meet, and which is not hard, and then you have that phone call. If you have the phone call with John, boom, 1 year free. It's on me. Take care, guys. We'll see you guys later. Bye.